Proposals aimed at cutting deaths on island roads have been unveiled, and the public are being asked what they think about them. And with the Infrastructure Minister, Phil Gunn, now you've launched a public consultation. What consultations did you take to come up with these proposals?
Well, there's a range of options in the consultation, but I think the main thing that anyone would want to know is, well, why are we doing this? And I think what you'd have to do is ask any family where a son or a daughter has been lost due to a tragic road accident, why are we doing this? Well, that's absolutely clear. It's an absolutely awful thing for anyone to have to go through, to lose a young person, whether that be, as I say, a direct member of family or a friend, in such tragic circumstances. And I think the thing that really hits home for me is that there are countries around the world who have in place more regulation, particularly for younger drivers, and in those places we see that particularly the more tragic deaths or tragic accidents are kept to a minimum. So statistics clearly show that where you have more stringent measures in place, you can significantly reduce the number of deaths and serious incidents.
So what have you modelled your proposals on?
Well, we haven't modelled them on any specific proposal. We've certainly looked at some of the proposals that are being looked at in the UK. We've also included some ideas that have been implemented in, I think, Victoria State in Australia, and that seems to have the most rigorous legislation anywhere in the world and the least number of tragic accidents. So it's pretty clear to me that if that's what if that's the real motivation to significantly reduce tragic accidents on the island's roads, then perhaps that's where we need to follow. But again, it is an open consultation, and I do want to hear what the public have to say. The department has over the years done an awful lot by way of road improvement schemes to try and reduce accidents, and those have been successful. But we are very much aware that there's a balance between regulation and personal freedoms, and what we hope to do through the consultation is find out where the public view is. Do we want more regulation and less tragic accidents, or do we want to retain public freedoms and have the risk that maybe there will be more deaths on our roads?
I know it's very early days, but have you had any feedback? Yeah, I'm sure this is something you'll get a lot of feedback on.
I'm sure we will get a lot of feedback, and certainly on social media I've received some feedback so far, but it is early. We only released the consultation on Wednesday, so I wait and see how much comes in. But as you say, I'm fairly sure there'll be a lot of interest.
We spoke to a young driver who said that she believes that some 16-year-olds are mature enough to drive, and that actually the problem exists with our roads infrastructure, and that it can't really cope with today's level of traffic.
I don't think that is fair, particularly when you look at most cities in the world, most large populated areas where there are considerably more cars on the roads than we have. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their view. I would probably disagree with that view in terms of the roads not being fit for purpose. They clearly are. Certainly, though, there are 16-year-olds who are mature enough to be driving vehicles, but equally, I would say that there are plenty of 16-year-olds who perhaps need more experience, and all the countries around the world that we've looked at demonstrate very clearly that the longer you have in terms of a learning process when you begin to learn to drive, is the more likely that you will drive safely.